AI allows for dynamic course context. But what does that actually mean? Hi everybody. One of the promises of AI is the creation of scalable and hyper-personalized course content. But how exactly is that going to work? This week, we're going to zoom in on the possibilities of using AI to make the course context more dynamic. In order to explain how we can make courses more dynamic, it is important to identify how an audience perceives a course. And there are a couple of elements there. The first and foremost is the relevance of the course. No matter how well the course is structured and packaged, the audience is only going to care if your course solves a problem for them. This problem can be certification, a specific programming problem, or simply a compliance check that they have to pass each year. Next to the raw relevance, they will look at applicability. To what extent is the content applicable to them? Are the examples relevant and relatable? Can they access all lab materials? Do they understand the acronyms and jargon? These types of elements make the content more relatable to a student. Lastly, they'll be looking at credibility. Are we sure that the content is accurate? And is it presented by someone with authority? The credibility of the content and teacher is therefore important when creating these courses. Okay, so I guess it is fair to say that those are some of the things that a typical audience cares about, and the more these aspects seem tailored to the individuals watching your course, the higher the perceived value. Now let's see how we can utilize AI to make this work at scale. As we discussed in previous videos, before AI could help us, all of these contextual elements had to be clearly identified up front. Changing the branding, for instance, could be very costly when done somewhere at the end of the production process. In that case, we might have to change the slide deck. And if we were unlucky, there were also branding elements in the live video forcing us to reshoot all of the video content. Now that has completely changed with AI. See, in the new paradigm, the actual production can happen at the press of a button. So previously, the process for a simple course looked something like this. We would create a branding kit for a client. We would create the outline and the script. We would then create the branded content. We would then continue with the recording. And finally, we would do the editing and publishing. But now, let's say that I have 3 clients that are looking for the same content. We would still need the branding details of each of the companies. For client 1, the audience is business executives. Keep it formal and professional. For client 2, the audience is high school students. Keep it professional but informal. For client 3, the audience is creative content creators. Keep it loose and informal. But what if we used a dynamic prompt instead of writing down the exact outline depending on the client? So, a prompt for the outline of a course might be, please provide a short introduction to the forming, storming, norming, and performing paradigm. Please keep your response below 5 paragraphs and keep the following context in mind. Now, we only have to define this query once, and if we suddenly have 200 clients, the actual dynamic prompt will not change. The only thing that will change is the response, depending on the brand kit we created. So we only go through the effort once, but we can copy things as many times as we like. And of course, we do not have to limit ourselves to outlines. We can utilize avatars, let AI generate slides, and let AI generate the narrative. This could all be done at scale. So there you have it. By layering the creation process and keeping the prompts dynamic, we have an opportunity to move closer to scaling hyper-personalized content. This is something that I will be focusing on in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for updates to see if AI can fill the promise of dynamic context for online courses.